Thanks very much for staying with us here on Sunday AM. Now, risking life and limb for charity, there is one man that is preparing to climb Africa's highest mountain, Kilimanjaro, with, wait for it, a washing machine strapped to his back.
In a bid to raise awareness and funds for mental health issues and suicide prevention, Waterford man Enda O'Doherty is getting ready to take on the Mammoth Challenge this summer. Enda, you're very welcome to the programme.
You're so welcome.
Thank you very much. Enda, you're a madman.
Absolutely.
It's what you are.
Absolutely.
Well
Who
said,
in the
Ian.
name of all that's good and holy would strap a washing machine to their back and climb the highest mountain they can find?
Well, I'd imagine there's very few people. Me at the moment. I suppose, look, the reason I'm carrying the washing machine is two reasons. One is it's a media gimmick, which thankfully it's worked. Thank you for having me here this morning. Worked a treat so far.
We were all
But the real
shocked.
reason is, you know, that in Ireland at the moment we lose 10 young people a week to suicide. And the reason those people are losing their lives is they're carrying an emotional load that we can't see. It's invisible. So I decided to make a statement for mental health in Ireland, and what I'm doing is I'm carrying the most stupid, ridiculous load you could see. You can't miss it, right? I suppose there are colleagues here in your studio working with you this morning who could be suffering, and you can't see it. The load is invisible.
What I thought was lovely when we spoke before we started rolling here in the studio was that, you know, you talked about emotional issues that people can have, whether it's as something that people think isn't important, like a breakup of a relationship, whether that's a marriage breakup or just you know, a relationship or an engagement. And you said these things can weigh very heavy on people's minds, and it can, well, the mind is very fragile. We all know that.
Absolutely. I would think that the most regular question I get asked about the washing machine, is it a full washing machine? Is it the real thing? And I always say to people, look, I'm not as stupid as I look. It's not the full weight.
You've taken the bits
I've
out.
taken as much out of it as I could, but it's 40 kilos. But like, your script there isn't very heavy, but if you extend your arm and hold it for 5 or 10 minutes, your arm will fall off. So the size of the problem, you know, is relative to you, and it's also relative to how long you hold it. So our message is, you know, for people, reach out, share the load, ask for help.
And we're seeing pictures of you practicing here, training on our own beautiful Cumber Mountains. And the Cumber Mountains, compared to Kilimanjaro, are like a
Nursery
a
slope?
flat piece of land.
Well, that particular day we'd had a fundraiser again for Pieta House, and that was Slieve Naman, and we went up in an hour and 20 minutes with the washing machine, which hurt because I would normally not push at that sort of pace.
Yeah.
I think Kilimanjaro is 19,000 feet. It's the tallest freestanding mountain in the world. The last night of the hike is the real test, because the last night is a 16-hour hike at -20 with about 40% oxygen, and you've been sleeping rough for 7 or 8 days to get
listen.
there.
How are you going to mentally prepare yourself for that?
I'm pretty, you know, you don't really know what you have in life till you're tested, and I know my mental strength is really good. I'm concerned about my toes or my blisters, or I'm concerned about my back, or I'm concerned about the wonderful, wonderful people who are coming with me. I'm not concerned about my own mental strength. I know 100% I won't stop. I'll have to be carried off that mountain. So that doesn't enter my head.
I believe that when you say that. But also what worries me, and I think before we even met you, I think a few of us had been chatting. I hadn't spoken to you about it, but we were genuinely concerned about you. Because, you know,
lovely.
I think it's quite a dangerous task to take on. I mean, I know your wife is going to be with you. You say you're in obviously you are in full mental health, but in full physical health. You're a very strong man. You've done many Ironmans before. But when you came out of Belfast, you had an awful episode where you were peeing blood and you went into hypoglycemic shock. Tell us about that. So things haven't been perfect.
No. The previous event that I did was 2 summers back. I walked from Belfast to Waterford with my washing machine, which was 9 marathons in 8 days. On that journey, I lost my toenails, my fat pads in my feet. I broke both feet. It was a real challenge, but you see, that's the value. You know.
So with broken feet and no pads and toenails missing, you kept walking?
Absolutely, absolutely.
How do you do that? I mean, any normal person would just sit down on the side of the road and say, right, guys, you know, I've done it. Yeah,
well, I think when you're surrounded by wonderful people, you know, one of the cleverest things that I've done throughout this is I have a fantastic team, a physical team. You know, I have fantastic friends and colleagues.
But ultimately it comes down to yourself, and I mean, you are on that road, you're in those runners, you've got the washing machine in your back. Nobody else can carry that load for you.
No.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm ever on my own, ever. You know, my wife is right beside me, my friends, my family around me.
Okay, how do you deal with the pain, right? So the physical pain involved in losing all those things you lost there and carrying the thing at the same time. You must have amazing powers of pain management, I suppose.
Because it's 40 kilos. 40 kilos.
Yeah, what I have is a great sense of power of concentration. I can switch off and go to a place where I'm thinking about Christmas shopping, I'm thinking about my kids, I'm thinking about work. I can go into such a deep, deep state of concentration that I can almost block it out. Now, when I come out of it and I've finished the events, then I'm really aware of what I've done to myself, but my concentration allows me to get through it. And I suppose, you know, if I think about the emails and the phone calls that I get from people and the ordinary people who I meet who are affected by suicide in Ireland, who are affected by anxiety or depression in Ireland, who have lost family, that trumps any pain.
Have you a personal connection in terms of obviously what you're doing? Because we know you're a geography teacher in school, so I'm sure all the children at home are delighted to see you here on TV3. but there he is, geography teacher. Sir, yes, sir. But I mean, just to do that, you've got the backing of the school, the children, families, everybody's behind you.
Yeah.
So what is the reason you're doing this?
Well, I suppose in my own life story that I'm an alcoholic, and I was asking one of the research crew. They said to me, "You were an alcoholic." I said, "No, I am an alcoholic. It's with you for life."
Yeah.
I'm very much aware what dark times feel like and what troubled times feel like, but I'm also very aware that there's always hope. You know, that when I reached out and asked for help, my life improved dramatically. Yeah. I know what the worst of times felt like, and I suppose that was my initial motivation for, you know, maybe helping someone else from that dark place.
How can people support you on your walk and support Pieta House?
Well, you can support Pieta House by organising your own fundraising event. You know, I love empowering people to take part and come on board, not just to give you the tenner, you know, to actually run your own table quiz or your own head shave or whatever it is. They can donate on Everyday Hero, and if you go to Everyday Hero, put in Pieta Challenge, you definitely won't get the wrong event. You'll see this balding guy having a midlife crisis sitting top of a washing machine, and you'll know you're on the right page then. But you can donate that way. We're very, very keen too to, you know, as you see my T-shirt, we've got lots of blank spaces on it, and we're looking for some really good sponsors to come on board.
Very final, very quick question to you. Who does the laundry in your house?
The top 3 questions I get asked about the washing machine: are you out for a long spin or a short spin? Are you money laundering? And can you use it?
Very good. And thank you so much for coming on, and best of luck with the challenge.
Thank you so much. Wow.